Hello viewers and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We are taking a look on what is happening in the nation Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa has been hit by another scandal. This is a 1.6 billion United States dollars scandal, and it's something else. Remember, Zimbabwe is swimming in debt. It was around 18 million in terms of debt, but right now the debt has ballooned to 21 million. This is the official Rikuzikanwa. And this is something very important in Zimbabwe because Zimbabwe is losing a lot of money. Let us take a look critically onto this matter. This is a matter where Kuvimba, which is part of Mutapa investment fund, is being accused of paying a lot of money to Kuda Tagwirei. So remember, Tagwirei was believed to own around 35% of the shareholding in Kuvimba before it was outrightly bought by the government, and it was then put into the Mutapa investment fund. Irukufana kuva your sovereign wealth fund of Zimbabwe, which is supposed to benefit you and me, that is us as the citizens of Zimbabwe. So the Sentry has reported that Zimbabwe's new sovereign wealth fund reportedly paid 1.6 billion, which is 5% of Zimbabwe's GDP, for shares in a mining conglomerate with recent links to Kuda Tagwirei, a presidential advisor and a ruling party donor accused of corruption. So the sources confirm that the country's debt has leapt by 3 billion, which is from 18 billion to 21 billion. Recently, we knew that our debt was at around 18 billion, but we are now being told that it has gone to 21 billion in just a few months. And this is because of the treasury bills with 10% of the GDP, which were issued since November 2023. So this is something very important. When you see 10% of the GDP being issued in terms of treasury bills, and you and me are going to pay that debt. So we might not be alive, but our children will still have to pay this debt, which means vacharamba vachingobatirwa ma-taxes and everything to pay these debts. So of that new debt, 1.9 billion is to recapitalize the Mutapa investment fund and Zimbabwe's new sovereign wealth fund, while 900 million was allocated to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Then Mutapa, which was named after the ancient kingdom, has taken over the shares of more than 20 state-owned enterprises or SEOs. And the jewel in Mutapa's crown is Kuvimba mining house, which owns around a dozen of gold mines, nickel and platinum mines. So what is happening is Mutapa Kuvimba used to own around 65%. The state used to own 65% of Kuvimba in terms of shares, and the private investors held around 35% of the shares. And in April 2024, it was reported that Mutapa bought out the private investors for 1.6 billion. So 35% of the valuation of Mutapa, it's now sitting at 1.6 billion. And this was done using treasury bills, which is a form of short-term government debt akin to IOU document acknowledging a debt. So if this figure is accurate, then about 4/5 of the 1.9 billion debt incurred to allow Mutapa to revive failing SEO has been used to pay a few private individuals. This is where the problem is. The government has taken a debt of 1.9 billion and they pushed that money into Mutapa. And Mutapa has then taken 1.6 billion and then pays to, allegedly, Kuda Tagwirei. This is the whole issue. So I have seen a lot of people who were asking, what is this thing? 1.6 billion out of 1.9 billion. Chikwereti chakaiswa kumutapa kuti isimuke itange kushanda has been paid kuna Kuda Tagwirei, allegedly. So a 1.6 billion price tag for a 35%, then it raises eyebrows because it then gives value of the whole thing to 4.6 billion. It means Kuvimba was valued at 4.6 billion. And we have to remember that in 2022, what was the value? The value of Kuvimba in 2022 was sitting at around 1.5 billion. So we were told that Kuvimba is 1.5 billion in terms of its worth, but right now 1.6 billion has been paid as a 35% shares to the private owners. And the major question is, who was owned? So this is what the Sendri is actually exposing right here. There is a company which is called the Kuvimba Resources, which is controlled or which is believed to be controlled by Kuda Tagwirei. And that Kuvimba Resources is also a shareholder of another company called Ziwa Resources. And that is the company which held shares in Kuvimba. Which means if Ziwa Resources was paid 1.6 billion, the money goes through shares to Kuvimba, and the money from Kuvimba to Kuda Tagwirei. If you take a look on how these things are happening, Kuvimba is believed. All right, okay. Let me start with this. Kuda Tagwirei is believed to be an owner of a trust, the Kuda Tagwirei Trust, and also there is another one, the Igu Trust. Isingazikanwe in terms of the beneficiaries that are not known. So if you go to Kuvimba's corporate documents, Tagwirei has been using the same lawyer with the one which is being used by the other company. So you can actually say that this is a connection, but the major problem is the documents are missing from the registrar's office. So you cannot ascertain who the owner is. Remember, we still have traditional means or traditional methods in terms of company registration. Asata digital. And this is a problem, which means you have to rely on physical copies for you to know who owns this company and who owns that company. And those documents are missing. Most people in Zimbabwe, very influential people, they have their records missing from the company registrar's office. For reasons best known by them, they don't want to be investigated or they don't want to be linked to some of the funds which will be circulating in the economy illegally. So this is a very important question. Did Mutapa overpay? Mutapa. The name of Mutapa, we had President Emerson Mnangagwa saying, we need to have a new president or a new ZANU-PF leader who is going to follow in the footsteps of Mutapa and refer to himself as Mutapa. So this is something very important. Did Mutapa overpay? This is something very important because we need an answer. If the report that Mutapa paid 1.6 billion for the 35% of Kuvimba is accurate, then the whole firm would be valued at 4.6 billion. So this is 3 times the government previous 1.5 billion valuation in 2022. And if you take a look on what was happening in these years, there is no chance that this firm, Mutapa, could have grown to around 4-point-something billion. In terms of even if they've been doing gold mine, lithium mine, etc., they can't be valued at that at 4.6 right now. Because even if we are to take a look on the minerals which were deposited, the gold which was deposited to Fidelity printers and refiners, you can actually see that we don't have up to that amount from the previous year up to this time. We don't have that amount. Instead, what really happened is that gold fell by around 5% in terms of deliveries to Fidelity, which means this is the reason why questions should be asked. Very important questions should be asked. So yes, value of gold went higher or went up, but we have to remember that the deliveries at Fidelity declined. Also, lithium prices are declining as well as the platinum prices. they are also inactive. Nothing is moving. They are holding on to the minerals, and they are not selling, which means the value cannot be determined at this point in time because it's a very low, which means 4.6 billion from 2022 up to this day. It can't. So here is the thing. Zimbabweans now have a bigger debt which they have to pay. Yet the politicians are building bigger houses and externalizing millions and millions of dollars. Who is going to pay for that? It's you. So the issue is these people, they will take credits, they will make the state indebted, and they will loot the money in these companies. Then they will run away with everything. It seems as if this is the final haste. It seems as if these guys, they know what is happening, what is coming after them, and they are doing what is called the final haste. Imagine, vakabudane 1.6 bidza, vakarwa tobo. They are going to live large because vakura, they are old and they no longer have much time to live, but still they are going to live large. They are going to afford security and everything else. So this is the issue. We need to see the Zimbabwe Independent Auditor General come and to do an audit into this issue. We need to see the Auditor General go into Mutapa investment, then investigate whatever which happened in these transactions. And also we need to see PAC from the parliament doing their own hearings and to deal with this issue. And here are the 5 important questions. They need to ascertain what was the purchase price of the 35% shares of the private people, or 35% of the shares privately owned. Then number 2, they need to take a look on how was the valuation carried out. They need to tell us when the valuation was being done, what was considered, what was looked at, and all those issues are very important. Then what was the full ownership structure of Kuvimba at the time of payment, and who got paid, and what happened to the treasury bill after it was issued. So this is something very important, and I believe that this is going to give closure to this whole issue. President Mnangagwa is, however, denied all these issues. The government of Zimbabwe, they've dismissed all these issues and say these are simply allegations, but only denying will not matter. The president would have made sure that the Auditor General launches an investigation so as to give a report, a full report as to what is really happening and what is really transpiring. Remember, though the Auditor General is the one person who can have access to these issues. So this is what is happening, and this is going to affect Zimbabwe's debt restructuring exercise, because Africa Development Bank has been trying by all means possible to negotiate with the lenders of Zimbabwe in terms of debt clearance. But these are the problems which are happening, because from 18 billion to 21 billion, then this is going to change in terms of negotiations which are happening, because somebody will say, okay, your debt was at 18 million, and tomorrow we'll be told it's now at 21 million. 3 billion. 3 billion is a lot of money. So this is what is happening at this point in time, and there is little development happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, which means it's difficult for you to translate or relate the leaping of the debt as well as the development itself. It's not matching. So this is what is happening in Zimbabwe. President Mnangagwa is yet in another scandal. Scandal after scandal, scandal after scandal. This is a sign that things are now going south. Things are no longer okay within the camp. And one day, Shangoona umwe munhu akarowa tobo achitiza because of these issues. And remember, the military is on an overdrive to try and campaign for VP Chiwenga. This is the reason why they are on an overdrive. Emmerson Mnangagwa is going, no two ways about it. He is trying now to act as if Vision 2030 was not his idea, but it's too late. We wait to see what is going to happen, but inini hangu ndiri kunamatira kuti dai varume ava varega kubuda munyika. And I will pray that Interpol and other international organizations will work hard to expose mari dzakabiwa nevarume ava. So it is what it is. We'll continue to watch and see. Michael, thank you very much for coming. Memory, thank you very much. How are you? We'll continue to speak. We'll continue to have a discussion about the issues of Zimbabwe. My name is Ronald.